Hello, my name's Scott. I'm a professional magician and this is a magic review. It's a kind of magic. In today's review, we're going to be looking at Sparkling Plus by James Wang, made by Hanson Chien production company. The TLDR on this product is that it's phenomenal. It is expensive, but it is worth every penny. And that goes from the meticulously made props that you receive to the instructions to the effect that it creates. It is a professional product with a professional price tag for professional magicians. So I will say that at the very beginning, that is my TLDR. I do thoroughly recommend it if you're in the market for creating an amazing experience that is for a group of people on stage, off stage, in smaller groups, in parlor situations, or smaller intimate performances where you have a small group of people. For these kinds of performances, Sparkling Plus is incredible. Not only that, it is definitely an improvement upon the original Sparkling product. I'll explain more about that in the final thoughts, but that's my TLDR. I thoroughly and highly recommend Sparkling Plus. But what is it? What is Sparkling Plus? The effect is quite simple, and I'll put a little bit of footage up on the screen. You have a bottle, a champagne bottle, a Prosecco bottle, anything like this, and you have a presentation where you take some gas or you take some magic or something like this, and then you concentrate, perhaps with a spectator, on the bottle, and when you want that bottle to start fizzing and pop open and the champagne cork to launch into the air, at that exact moment, that champagne cork will pop and then you can pour a drink out or multiple drinks out. That's what the effect is. You are with superpowers deciding exactly when that champagne cork pops out of the champagne bottle. Hopefully, between my description and the footage that was shown on screen, you understand what the effect is, how magical that can be for an audience, and the impact that it will create. And that's what it is. But what do you get with Sparkling Plus? Let's have a little look inside the box. So you receive with Sparkling Plus a myriad of expertly made, custom-made tools and props and gimmicks. You receive a custom cork that is extremely well designed. It's extremely well made. I really struggled to actually find a certain thing on this, and I'll explain more about that and how that may help you. You receive a couple of measuring utility pieces for the mouth of the bottle that you're using. You receive the instructions, some stickers, and a couple more bits that I won't be showing. But it's all expertly made and well worth the price, in my honest opinion. On top of all of the props, you also receive a link that takes you to a page where the instructions are explained in Chinese, Mandarin, I think, and there are really good, accurate English subtitles. So the tutorial for the main routine for the product, for everything that you see and everything that you want to perform, is approximately 1 hour long. It's very detailed. They cover everything you could want to know. There's also a 7-minute video that shows you the differences between the original Sparkling product and the new Sparkling Plus product. So you can have a look at the differences there. As I say, I'm going to explain a little bit more about the differences throughout this review to help you understand whether you should make a new purchase. That's pretty much what you receive. You receive a few more things in the box that will help you create, customize, and perform. And that's everything. There's also a link to a private Facebook group. I don't partake in Facebook, so I'm not on it, but I'm sure there's some insightful bits and pieces in that group. And that's what you get when you purchase Sparkling Plus. But how easy is it? It is not, it's not difficult to perform, but there's quite a lot of preparation that needs to be done. I think given the fact that this product is aimed at experienced performers and I dare say professional performers who are performing in situations where they have a seated audience or a controlled environment to some extent and know what they're doing, I think that the preparation is definitely warranted, and the preparation is definitely worth it for the outcome and the effect that you're creating. But it is quite a lot of effort to set up this effect. And there are 2 things that are not included in the product that you will need to go out and purchase. One of those things, you will have plenty of it, or you should have plenty of it, in your house. Basically every single house has this, but if you don't, then you can easily buy it at any supermarket anywhere in the world, and it's very cheap. The other thing that you need is clear, edible rice paper, and again, that's widely available all around the world. It's available online. So they are two things that you will need in addition to what you receive here. But to conclude on how easy it is, the trick is extremely easy to perform once it's set up. But as I say, the setup process is quite lengthy. It will probably take you maybe 20, 30 minutes, maybe even 1 hour to prepare everything the first few times that you do it. And then you also need to accommodate for the shopping time of going out to purchase a bottle of champagne or Prosecco or something like this as well. But it is a normal bottle of champagne. It is whatever bottle you're using, whatever liquid you're using, it is regular. You can drink it at the end. So don't think that you're customizing glass or a bottle or anything like that. It's not that. Hopefully I've covered how easy it is there without giving too much away. It's essentially snap of a finger and the champagne cork pops at your will. Reset time, as I've said, the setup time for it is quite lengthy, and the setup time is like the reset time. So this effect doesn't reset. It's not like you can just have a bottle, do it, and then you can do it again after a few minutes of resetting that bottle. That's not how this works. But also, because of who this is aimed at and the kinds of performances that this is aimed at, it's highly likely that you're not going to want to perform it again anyway. You could have multiple bottles set up. For example, if you're working on a cruise ship, or if you have multiple shows throughout the day, you can have multiple bottles set up, ready to go, one per hour, that kind of thing. But the bottle that you use doesn't actually get reset. You require a new bottle and going through that setting up process, which, as I said, is a little bit lengthy and there is some effort involved there. I do think that's a good thing though. I'll explain why in the final thoughts. Hopefully I've covered the reset time. There is no reset exactly with this effect. Just want to interrupt this review for a second. If you find my reviews helpful and if they help you make a purchase or decide not to purchase and save you money, please do support this channel. The more support this channel gets, the more subscribers we get, the more people who interact with the channel, the more reviews I'm going to be able to do, and the more I'm going to be able to help you. I'm trying to do these reviews to help the magic community and help people like you, because there are a lot of reviewers who talk absolute nonsense. So if you do enjoy this channel and you do find my content useful, then please do share, like, comment, subscribe. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate everything everyone does for this channel. Back to the review. Angles are fantastic. There are no angle restrictions at all. You can have the bottle, you can have someone, I mean, you wouldn't because of the way that it works, but you could have someone holding onto the bottle or holding the base like this. You could perform it like that if you wanted to. You can have the bottle anywhere on the table, in between your legs for a funny joke as it pops, or in between a spectator's legs if you want an X-rated performance. But in terms of angles, there are no restrictions. You can be completely surrounded the whole time. Pocket space isn't really appropriate with this one. You have a few things that you need to carry, which you can keep in a small box wherever you're traveling, wherever you're performing. But of course, you have a bottle as well. And that's not something that you're going to carry around with you as such during a performance. It's something that you'll have set up, ready to go on a table, underneath a shelf, somewhere in your performance space. So I don't think pocket space for Sparkling Plus is a relevant category, so I'm going to move on past that. With the exception perhaps of how you magically activate the champagne cork popping. That will take up a tiny piece of pocket space, and you can have it anywhere. You can have it in a jeans trouser pocket, you could have it in a side pocket of a dinner jacket, you could have that anywhere. It's very small, it's about the size of a keychain, something like that. And in addition to the bottle that is already set up, ready to go, that's the only other thing that you need to have on you. And my final thoughts for this, it's remarkable. So one of my concerns with this is that when you perform it, once this cork pops out, because you receive a custom-made cork, and that cork, when it pops, if it goes far away, if you can't find it again, that's a lot of money that you've just lost in this cork. So I would say that don't perform this outside for sure, because you may not find your cork again. And also when you're performing it indoors, you're going to have to find that cork again. So I might suggest something like, if you can find a small tracker, like an electronic tracker, they're called Tile or an Apple tracker, or I forget the exact, Apple AirTag, I think. If you can find something really small, one of those, and you can place it on top of the cork where it doesn't look suspicious in any way, or you provided some stickers with it. If you can put that tracker on top and then put a sticker on top, so that you can look on your phone after the performance, after the show that you give, and you can see exactly where it is. That might be helpful. But everything relies on the cork. That's something to be aware of. The cork is very robust. Of course, when it pings out of the bottle, it can hit things. That's fine. It should be built to last. It's really high quality. This is so high quality, and you do have to charge this, by the way. There are some kinds of electronics in this cork, and the charging point in this, I literally was looking at the charging point and I couldn't see it. I had no idea where it was, to the point where I almost emailed Hanson Chien production company and said, I think you've made a mistake and you've sent me a cork that hasn't got a charging part. And I looked at the instructions and I re-looked, and I was looking where the charging point was supposed to be, and eventually I found it. But it's so well made. It's incredible. There were a couple of other things as well that I wanted to point out. Of course, it's electronic, as I said, so be mindful of that. You will have to charge it before every performance. There's one other thing that you will need to buy as well. Earlier, I covered the fact that there'll be one very common household item that you will need for this, as well as clear rice paper. You will also need something that's quite cheap, accessible, and common from a magic shop that you will use every time. And you only use a small amount of it. And as I say, it's very cheap and very easy to find, but you will need to purchase that as well. So there are actually 3 things you need to buy when you are purchasing this in addition to the product. Is that everything? If there's anything that I've missed off with this, I will put it in the top pinned comment and the video description, because I think there was 1 or 2 more things that I was supposed to cover, but I can't remember it right now. This is being edited in post-review. I forgot to mention the fact that the cork is a mushroom-shaped cork in this new Sparkling Plus design, whereas the old cork had slightly more straight edges to it, and it was less of a normal looking cork. So your new cork in Sparkling Plus is a definite upgrade to the original Sparkling product, and that is the final point I had to mention. Back to the review. So yes, overall, I think this is a fantastic product. It is very expensive at $200, but it is aimed at people who are potentially getting paid hundreds or thousands of dollars per performance. So one of the good things about that is the fact that not many people are going to be performing this. Only people in the tens around the world will be performing this on a regular basis. So if you go and you perform this on a cruise ship, at a private party, for a corporate client, it's unlikely that they would have seen this before, which is a great thing. And yes, as I say, I will leave anything I've missed off in a comment below, in a top pinned comment. If you have any questions, do leave a comment. Thank you so much to Hanson Chien Production Company for sending me this review copy. It's fantastic to see producers of magic reaching out to the reviewers of magic and offering review copies of products now. Of course, which reviewer you trust the most is down to you, and I recommend watching all of them and judging for yourself and figuring out where you sit on each reviewer. And I think that really is it now. So hit the like button, subscribe if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to see more reviews like this, and I'll see you in the next review.